directly by the entire body of qualified citizens must be impractical in most modern societies. Today, 18th March, that is 18th March 2023, Nigerian gubernatorial elections will be held for state governors in 31 out of 36 Nigerian states. All but 3 elections will be held concurrent with elections to every state house of assembly 3 weeks after the presidential election and National Assembly elections, while the Imo State, Kogi State and Bayelsa State elections will be held on 11th November, the last regular gubernatorial elections for all states in 2019, I beg your pardon. All states have a 2-term limit for governors, which makes 18 incumbent governors ineligible for re-election. Welcome to our gubernatorial live studio as Nigeria, indeed Lagosians, decide today who will serve them in the next 4 years. I am Anua Benitia, but I am not alone. I have my colleague with me.
My name is George Nwadozie, and I welcome you to this very special occasion. Last time you saw us was on the presidential election, and then we give you everything, all the happenings that is coming around, and eventually it has come and gone. So today we are focused on the gubernatorial elections, and yes, my colleague Anira, yes, the atmosphere is it's calm,
yes,
you know, there is nothing happening, and yes, we've had people who have come to vote, like the gubernatorial candidate of the Labour Party, Gubernatorial Roads, has just exercised his franchise. So, what do you know about him?
Well, I am not a political person, as it were, but I do know that is one of the political big shots in this election, especially the one taking part in Lagos State. We did actually have a bio written on him, and I think I would really love to let the people at home get that, what we put together for him. If I can just lay my hands on that. But besides that, the election so far has been peaceful in the state, and most of the reports that we've been getting so far has been one of peace across board, and indeed it is what Nigerians hoped for, and it is very interesting that at this time it is exactly what we're getting this moment.
Yes, there's a lot of things to play, especially in the Lagos State gubernatorial elections and some other state elections. There are a lot of things to play, a lot of things to give away. First of all, the guy who just mentioned, Gbadebo Vivo, is the Labour Party candidate for Labour Party, that's gubernatorial candidate for Labour Party. Seems to be just somebody from the blues, and then he's making waves all of a sudden, and everybody's maybe based on the fact that he's riding on the same course with Peter Obi, who contested the presidential elections with a lot of vigor out there from people. And again, we have Jendor, you know, the Abdulaziz or something like that, yes, who's contesting under the PDP, who is also seen as a credible candidate, very strong Lagosian who knows his onions, a young man also, you know, and he has that group of people who want a change in the Lagos, polity, so to say, and then the governorship. The governor itself, the incumbent governor, that's Sanwo-Olu, who has also exercised his own franchise, and he wants to come back and then do the last 4 years of his term, you know, and see whether he can do one or two things, because according to his administration, he has tried to make sure that Lagos State remains an economical hub for the nation and also Africa, or rather West Africa cities.
That opinion, you know, it's divergent. Not everyone would agree with that opinion. As Nigerians, most times as journalists, when we ask questions, we have different opinions from across board on issues like that, some for and some against. Now, you did ask about Gbadebo Roads Vivo, the Labour Party candidate for today's gubernatorial election. election. Gbadebo Rhodes Vival is also known as GRV, born 8th March 1983.
Quite young.
Nigerian architect, is also an activist and a politician. He is the gubernatorial candidate of the Labour Party. He was the senatorial candidate of the People's Democratic Party for the Lagos West Senatorial District in the 2019 Senate elections. Rhodes Vival was born on Lagos Island but grew up in Ikeja. He attended Chrisland Primary School and also the secondary school up to GSS 3, and then proceeded to Paris, where he completed his secondary education. He has a bachelor's degree in architecture from the University of Nottingham and a master's degree in the same field from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. He partook in the National Youth Service Corps, NYC, in 2008 after his first master's and completed it in 2009. He later attended a second master's degree in research and policy and so on. So that is the candidate. Now, talking about him riding on the back of Peter Obi, a lot of people would agree with you that that is what may play out in the elections today. But as Nigerians, we all have a mind of our own as a people. Nigerians now are looking for pedigree. They are looking for what you have to offer. And I think the days where you can actually ride on the back of anybody, I think for Nigerians,
it's gone.
We've crossed that threshold. I will not totally agree with you that it is business as usual, as it were. Before the gubernatorial elections, people know and see what they want, and I think that is what will play out. For me, if you ask me, that is what will play out in this election.
So what you are saying is that people will rather go for individuals than the party.
That is I mean, from what we have seen so far, that is what is playing out, or that is what is playing out in this election, and that is the mind of Nigerians from across board. When we talk to them, it is what you bring into the plate. Even at home these days, they'll ask you what you bring into the plate, and I think that's exactly what Nigerians are going to do in this election.
All right, we're going to go for a very short break now. When we return, we're going to be taking reports or callings from some of our reporters out there in the field, giving us feedbacks on what is happening, and then we'll talk about it.
Not only that, we
Yes, welcome back. You are still here. This is the gubernatorial election episode 2023. Yes, we are still doing the election things. So we're going now straight to your state, where we have Grace in Ibadan, Northeast. Great Kofi. Hello, Grace.
Hello.
Yes. How are you doing? How is Ibadan?
Ibadan is very well. Very peaceful. So much of the
All right. So what is happening over there in the polling unit? You are at the polling unit 50. So what is happening there right now?
Okay, so when the voters have all exercised their right to vote, we will have just very few individuals standing around looking for coalition and the councils of the vote. So most votes have all happened up. Just sitting around waiting till the end of the voting exercise.
So what people are waiting for now is to know the results.
Exactly. So,
but any signs of, say, apathy or violence in any regard?
No, but anyway, there's been no issue of violence or what happened. It's been very peaceful, and even the teacher technology are also doing so.
Okay, can you tell us something about the polling unit of the governor? When the governor came to vote, the turnout of people at the polling unit, and of course how easy it was for the governor to actually, cast his vote.
Okay, at the level of Martin, it was made with loud support of the voters. There was a massive turnout, a very massive turnout from the voters at the polling unit. And immediately I read that the polling unit, many people came out in support and fans of his name and then the political party there, and it was so loud that the voters at the polling unit are very much in support of him.
So now, I want to ask, during the presidential election, a lot of, people or a lot of guys went to vote for the APC, and meanwhile, the incumbent is of the PDP. So what is happening now? Is that playing out again, or is this something else?
Okay,
yes, the question is that Seyi Makinde is of the PDP, while during the presidential election, the APC actually won that seat. So what is happening right now?
I don't know if she'll be able to know that.
Hello, Grace, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yes, I said Seyi Makinde is of the PDP. Meanwhile, the states actually voted for the APC during the presidential election. So is that playing out right now, or is this something else?
Okay, the current turnout of the voters and the reaction we receive from the voters, it says that there's a different turnout. Of course, during the election, there was the voting result came off from the APC, the APC. But now many of the points asked them about their reaction, who they were willing to, if they are willing to vote. They really, had support for from the people that at the.
Okay. Now I want to find out, while you were actually on the field, did you hear from those voters? Did you hear if they had any problem? Maybe they had peculiar problems that they had, during the period of trying to cast their vote and stuff like that. Did anything peculiar happen, in those areas that you could let us know?
This was now at the polling unit where I answered it. There was no issue as regards the application, had issues when it comes to the official presentation and all of that. There was very similar activity. The highest number of what I would say for his application was about less than 2 minutes, and then in 3 minutes or 4 minutes they were done with their voting. So there was no issue at all, because what was different from the presidential election, not the presidential election, they were with the feedback and the application. So presently at the polling unit, there was no issue of any, but that's why as the many people are coming, they come in very early in the morning, and then as early as in the next 5 or maybe they're already back to the house, because everything was so clear and easy.
Did you have a situation where a polling unit didn't have, that is, officials didn't come, INEC officials didn't come at all? Were you able to see anything like that?
So we've not had to so we've been to about 5 polling units. We've had we've had polling units, and it's never really had any issue where we didn't see explore inside. Across different polling units, and there was nothing at all. As early as 7:38 a.m., all the electoral officers were beyond their matches and were present. They were all waiting for and they were looking at the school between the voting exam and started at 8:20 a.m.
So Grace.
Yeah, with you.
Yeah. Finally, I just wanted to ask you. You talked about the beavers. It really raised a lot of dust. During the presidential election and after, and in fact, right now it is still raising a lot of dust. So, the beavers are they working, or is there any issue with them?
Okay. Now the beavers are working perfectly. There's not the issue of internet connections or technical issues. Everything has been working seamlessly. That's why I understand that when the voter comes for his accreditation, in less than 2 minutes the voter is accredited. The voter is ready to to our vote. So there's no issue so far so good. And that is what is very expect from the presidential election where the INEC officials have done something about the people. So far across the two different policies has not been any.
So thank you so much, Grace, for your time. We'll get back to you, subsequently.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Grace. Okay, we also want our viewers to know that they can call in and be part of the conversation right here in the studio. The phone lines will be on your screen, so just call in and, of course, let us have a feel of your thoughts on TV, so we can rub minds and during this period. Also, we want our viewers to know that we shall be getting reports from Kwara, Ondo, Jos, Nasarawa, Oyo, Ogun, Lagos. So there's a lot for information coming your way right here, only if you stick with us.
So let's go for a very short break now. I'll be right back with you. So
reaching you live from Ibadan northeast area of Oyo State, and to be the voting center for the governorship candidate for the People's Democratic Party, Governor Seyi Makinde, and it will be here any minute from now. Of course, the voting exercise here has commenced, and we have voters here on the queue ready to cast their votes. Accreditation exercise has begun, and so far so good. It has been very peaceful, no issues here, and the electoral officers have been doing very well. We hear some of the reactions from the voters.
From Ward 9, Unit 5. We don't have any problem here. The INEC official, they are doing well. They are come earlier, so we don't have any problem. What we are waiting for is instruction of INEC that every system will start by 8:30. So we don't have any problem here. We are all here to vote.
The election is going on very well, and there is no problem in this polling booth. So the polling booth is where the governor of the state, Engineer Seyi Makinde, will exercise his right here. So we employ every citizen of Oyo State to stay calm and vote for the persons of their choice.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Captain Guba live broadcast today, the 18th of March, as we bring you happenings right now all over Nigeria. And we shall be bringing a report now from Nasarawa State, where our correspondent is actually standing by on the field, Francis Adeniyi, all the way from Nasarawa. Francis, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. So, can you tell us what is going on? Because from the report that we have here, there seemed to be some trouble in Nasarawa State where people came with cutlasses somewhere in the school at Kokona. Please give us an update of what is happening right now where you are.
Okay, right now we are from Primary School, 107 at Kokona, Nasarawa State. At the moment, everything is calm. But from the students who got when we arrived at polling unit, there was an allegation that some person came to the polling unit going office and contact from other dangerous transmissions in an attempt to disenfranchise the electorate, which has since been imposed under control by security operatives of them. However, there are some irregularities that have been noticed at the polling unit, like party agents trying to call out the electorate voting in a certain pattern, and also party agents funding directly inside the ballot, the coordinating ballot papers from the electorate.
That's a lot happening right there. So have they been able to bring peace in that area? What have they been able to do? Do you have security personnel there in handling the situation?
Yeah, we're able to speak to one of the security operatives. They declined talking to us on camera, but we spoke to us on the ground of being anonymous. And part of his discussion was the fact that they have made several efforts to make the party agents understand that their activities were not in line with the electoral guidelines, but they have remained adamant to their instructions. And what they basically do was to allow one of the party agents from each of the parties to be on ground so as to monitor the proceedings.
Now, Francis, I just want to ask, with what you have said so far, that means that there seems to be a lot of, hanky-panky games going on in that particular polling unit. So what is INEC doing? Because INEC has assured of, proper elections. What is INEC actually doing to forestall such activities by party agents?
So considering the high turnout of voters at this polling unit, the INEC of church is overwhelmed at the moment with the high turnout of voters. There are 1,187 registered voters at the polling unit, and there is a very, very high turnout of voters. However, the INEC official complained about the limited number of the rivers given to them, and saying that we have slowed down process.
So the issue of beavers still arose, is still giving problems over there. The issue of beavers. I said you still have the issue of beavers. Is it still causing problem over there?
No, the beavers is functioning properly, but the amount of the devices they have compared to the amount of voters that need to be accredited with this, it has overwhelmed the INEC officials, and it has slowed down the accreditation and voting process.
But INEC was aware of the number of registered voters before coming out for this election. So why complain of the beavers not being released?
The INEC, this is a part of the complaint the INEC officials gave us, because during the presidential election, in presidential elections, the turnout of voters was not as much as what we are having today. So I guess they went to envisaging the situation whereby there will be this large number of voters turnout.
Uncle Francis, want to thank you so much for that report from Nasarawa State. We want our viewers to stick with us as we shall be bringing you more reports from other places in Nigeria. Thank you, Francis. Thank you so much. Well, there is a new development coming from Abeokuta. We have a report that there is actually cashless vote buying going on, George, right now as we
cashless vote buying. Cashless
vote buying going on as we speak right now, George. This is not good at all.
Well, the government did say that one of the, that's the policy of cashlessness was to make sure it fosters the issue of vote buying and a lot of crimes, being perpetrated by where you have so much cash in the society. And now the issue of cash in the society seems to have died down. So much cash, though the old Naira note is back, but it's not that much in circulation, and the transfers now are what people are using. So, and because it is now in vogue to actually just transfer money to people and do all those stuffs electronically, it seems to be the most easiest and the most the easiest and the most seamless way to making sure that people do not even know if you are giving out cash for votes or not. So yes, people can actually do this, and people are doing it, but I think the authorities should wake up and start to nip this in the bud. I think there should be some form of a connection with the banks, where that people might likely do this thing again, and then understand from what account is this money is going to other accounts.
How would they find out? It's not possible for you to find out.
It is coming from a particular account. It cannot be one account, except if they have like more than 20 or 30 people.
There's no red flag for anyone to know who is paying for votes at this time. Technology is supposed to do us good, as it were, but unfortunately in this situation.
But anyway, the conscience of people, if you really want this, someone once said, he said, well, I'm coming out to contest. If you don't vote for me, no problem. But remember, you are the ones choosing your future. So it is the people who will choose their future. If they decide to collect money and bring in somebody who will still make them suffer, no problem. But if they decide to collect money and vote for the right persons, it's still their choice.
So we're going to take a report shortly, but we want our viewers to call in and be part of the discussion in the studio. We want you to actually fill your polls on events. Tell us what is going on in your area, and help us send this information across to everyone that is watching. We'll take that report from Abeokuta and we'll be right back.
Okay, we see SDP. I want to find you.
Labour Party.
Labour and PDP. Oh yeah, SDP Labour on me. Okay, we see SDP. I want to find you.
Labour Party. Labour Party.
Labour and PDP. Oh yeah, SDP Labour on me. Okay, we see SDP. I want to find you.
And our people have turned out as much as they can. What we will now be waiting for is to hope that the process has advertised and has made known to us that things will be transmitted from here directly to the IREF and to the portal in Abuja. The truth of the matter is that once elections have been done at the polling unit, people have their expectation on how well it was conducted. Again, I'm saying that it has been well, at least from what I can see. Beavers have worked, accreditation has worked. Remaining now, we've done our part. Let those who are responsible for counting the vote do their own part. Okay. And those who are...
We held another meeting with them 2 days ago, and we treat the one that they should behave themselves. They should not go out with their vehicles unless the one that are working for ID. That was pasted with the stickers that every other person should stay at home unit, should not roaming around, and so far so that proposal. Thank you. What's up? 2 weeks ago, we held another meeting with them 2 days ago, and we treat the one that they should behave themselves. They should not go out with their vehicles unless the one that are working for ID. That was pasted with the stickers that every other person should stay at his own unit, should not roaming around, and so far so good that proposal. Thank you. What's up? 2 weeks ago, we held another meeting with them 2 days ago, and we treat the one that they should behave themselves. They should not go out with their vehicles unless the one that are working for ID. That was pasted with the stickers that every other person should stay at his own unit, should not roaming around, and so far so good that proposal. Thank you. What's up? 2 weeks ago, we held another meeting with them 2 days ago, and we treat the one that they should behave themselves. They should not go out with their vehicles unless the one that are working for ID. That was pasted with the stickers that every other person should stay at his own unit, should not roaming around, and so far so good that proposal. Thank you. What's up? 2 weeks ago, we held another meeting with them 2 days ago, and we treat the one that they should behave themselves. They should not go out with their vehicles unless the one that are working for ID. That was pasted with the stickers that every other person should stay at his own unit, should not roaming around, and so far so good that proposal. Thank you. What's up? 2 weeks ago, we held another meeting with them 2 days ago, and we treat the one that they should behave themselves. They should not go out with their vehicles unless the one that are working for ID. That was pasted with the sticker that every other person should stay at his own unit, should not roaming around, and so far so good that proposal. Thank you. What's up? 2 weeks ago, we held another meeting with them 2 days ago, and we treat the one that they should behave themselves. They should not go out with their vehicles unless the one that are working for ID. That was pasted with the stickers that every other person should stay at his own unit, not roaming around, and so far so good that proposal. Thank you. What's up? 2 weeks ago, we held another meeting with them 2 days ago, and we treat the one that they should behave themselves.
Secondary School 2, polling unit 26, Ward 11, Absina North Local Government Area. I'm here at this particular polling unit, as you can see behind me. The polling unit is set, presiding officers and other INEC staff are ready to credit people that are here to cast their votes. And then it is also impressive to know that this particular polling unit opened up at the exact time where INEC stipulated. And as you can currently there are people all around. And everything has been set for people to cast their vote. I'm here at H3 Secondary School, 2 polling unit 26, Ward 11, Absence Internal Local Government area. I'm here at this particular polling unit, as you can see behind me. The polling unit is set. Presiding officers, other INEC handle staff are ready to accredit people that are here to cast their votes. And then it is interesting to know that this particular polling unit opened up at the exact time where INEC stipulated. And as you can currently there are people all around. And everything has been set for people to cast their vote. I'm here at H3 Secondary School, 2 polling unit 26, Ward 11, Absence Internal Local Government area. I'm here at this particular polling unit, as you can see behind me. The polling unit is set. Presiding officers and other INEC handle staff are ready to accredit people that are here to cast their votes. And then it is also impressive to know that this particular polling unit opened up at the exact time where INEC stipulated. And as you can currently there are people all around. And everything has been set for people to come. Here at H3 Secondary School, 2 polling unit 26, Ward 11, Absence Internal Local Government area. I'm here at this particular polling unit, as you can see behind me. The polling unit is set. Presiding officers and other INEC handle staff are ready to accredit people that are here to cast their votes. And then it is also impressive to know that this particular polling unit opened up at the exact time where INEC stipulated. And as you can currently there are people all around. And everything has been set for people to cast their vote. I'm here at H3 Secondary School, 2 polling unit 26, Ward 11.
Alright, so we have seen that you have exercised the franchise. How would you describe the election process?
Well, I want to give it to I think I put it on this on daily basis. It will look peaceful, it will look good. Although we also literacy in this world, as a particular period where the vast no longer work together. I think it will be I love the way people think out. They recognizing well for them to actually exercise their civic responsibility. I want to give it to INEC. It is well organized, though there are little strategy challenges, but all in all, I think it's a very good.
So, what exactly is the issue about the security talking about?
There are some polling booths that we don't have security personnel, and because of this, some people are insisting that without security personnel, they will not permit voting. I think it's being reformed now.
Alright, so we have seen that you have exercised the franchise. How would you describe the election process?
Well, I want to give it to I think I put it on this on daily basis. It will look peaceful, it will look good. Although we also literacy in this world, as a particular period where the vast no longer work together. I think it will be I love the way people think out. They recognizing well for them to actually exercise their civic responsibility. I want to give it to INEC. It is well organized, though there are little strategy challenges, but all in all.
As you can see, it's a free and fair election, and this is my own polling unit, and there is no record, there has not been any record of violence yet, and we pray such won't happen today. So the election is going on fine and smoothly now, and everybody has casted their vote on this exercise, so everything is going on fine from our own side.
Thank you, sir.
We have been receiving series of calls from our various, from our agents, from various polling units about the intimidation of they are getting from other political party talks, and but we believe we want to vote, and we have our people on ground, so they casted their vote, and we make sure they monitor their votes.
Welcome back. Still here is the gubernatorial election broadcast from KAFTAN TV. And yes, we want to talk to Damilola Ajao, who is in faraway Ondo State right now. Hello, Damilola.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, Dami, how are you doing?
Very fine, thank you.
Great. What of the polling units are you in?
Okay, presently I'm at Lotus Gate. Ward 7, Unit 62, presently.
Okay, Ward 7, Unit 62 presently. So what is happening in Ward 7, Unit 62?
Okay, so far it's been a peaceful election, but a challenge going on is that the INEC officials came late. There's some proofs they've been here since 6:30. But till 9:30, none of the officials arrived. But since 9:30 that they arrived, the voting started immediately and still ongoing.
So, but has there been any, incidences of, malpractices or whatever, corruption, vote buying? Because we heard in some place that they are, in fact, transferring money to people.
Cashless
A cashless vote buying. So, is there anything like that taking place over there?
Okay, vote buying is inevitable, but we've not been able to hold on to someone or some set of people. Some set of people buying votes or selling theirs.
How is the security over there?
Well, the security is okay, but not so much, because the people are comforted enough to just be so careful. There isn't so much security here. Not security, not any though.
Okay.
And
the election has just been peaceful.
Apart from Lotobe ward, what other ward did you visit? Can you give us like a report of what happened in those other wards?
Okay, there is one ward 7, Unit 5 and 6. It came out massively from like Lotus Day. Because Lotus Day has 2 wards there. 2 units there. The turnout was not so much, but that's over a year back. They came out massively, but also a challenge they had to was that because they had delay before the election started. So we're complaining about staying under the sun. They would need before they start the election. But so far they started and it's peaceful. Vote buying, we could not hold on to anyone who is buying the vote. We know it is inevitable.
What about youth participation? Has it been youth participation during this election in Ondo? At least, the polling units that you visited, how has the turnout for women and of course the youth been during this election this morning?
Can you come again?
I said the turnout for youth during this election, has it been in Ondo State? And for women also?
I can get you.
So youth turnout, youth turnout. Do you have enough youth turning out for this vote?
Youth turnout was much. Youth turnout was much because old people here are not so much. Because a lot of people here are just youth, maybe older ones, older youth, but not old people. Most of them out, though there is low turnout generally. Generally there is low turnout. But majority of those that are out are youth.
So what you're saying is that there is a voter apathy, you know, compared to what happened in the last election, that was the presidential election, to this time. We've heard somewhere where, like in Nasarawa State, you had more people come out in this gubernatorial election than the presidential election. But in Ondo State, where you are, in the units you are presently in, and some of the units you have visited, do you have a larger turnout or lower turnouts?
Okay, compared to the previous election, which was the presidential election, there is low turnout now.
What seems to be the cause for that? What seems to be the cause of that?
What do you think, in your opinion, has has caused this to happen?
But I believe because of looking at how the presidential election, everyone was eager. Everyone was eager to be out to cast their vote. But this is not. For example, here in Ondo, it's just the MH. The Assembly, National Assembly that is going on here, not the other one, not the gubernatorial election right now, just the MHR here. But because I believe it's because it's not the presidential, the eagerness in people have reduced, and they just feel it's what it could just come out, just vote it out.
All right, that's much we can take from you, Damilola. Ajao will leave you now to do more jobs. We'll call you up later on to ask you more questions from other units. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we are still here, and then we have a guest in the studio, but we're yet to introduce him. We'll go for this very short break, and we'll be right back to show you something on the disability, also exercising their own franchise. We'll come back to you very soon.
Okay, we are still here at Sabongida Primary School, Ward 007, Kokona in Nasarawa State, and we are going to be talking to one of the electorates. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Please, can you tell us your overview of the proceedings so far?
Okay, we are seeing the votes. They are still trashing for the votes, where people are asking for the governorship and the House of Reps. So all they came to the election, we always assist to people to direct the people. Unless the people should choose the ones who want to choose their best. It's not one to direct the someone to choose their own best.
Okay, but finally now, has there been any provisions for people with special needs, people who cannot stand for long? Has there been any provision? Because I understand the federal government has made provisions for people with special needs to be given some kind of special attention to avoid any form of confusion. How has that been so far?
It can be long. Where some people that have been suffering cannot sit, cannot stand there long, we always find place and sit. We always people that say you are crying, let the government to hear that cry, to wipe their tears. That's why make people to understand. People cannot walk to move to one place to another. Always to stand one place. And I trust God to show that the leader who can direct the governorship also.
Okay, we are still here at Sabongida Primary School, Ward 007, Kokona in Nasarawa State, and we're going to be talking to one of the electorates. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Please, can you tell us your overview of the proceedings so far?
Okay, we are seeing the votes. They are still trashing for the votes, where people are asking for the governorship and the House of Reps. So all they came to the election, we always assist to people to direct the people. Unless the people should choose the ones who want to choose their best.
Yes, welcome back to our studio, where we bring you updates and reports as the elections unfold. We have fresh news coming in, the fact that the APC and PDP governorship candidate in Ogun State, they've already voted. They actually voted in the same polling unit, and that is very epic as we await the outcome. Also, we want to let you know that the Vice President, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, has also voted. He has cast his vote, and yes, George is going to do the introduction of our guest when we return.
Yes, welcome back. You're still here, and it's a gubernatorial election. So we have our guest in the studio, one of our guests, actually. His name is Joseph Folarin, and he's a politician, a political analyst. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes, it's so nice to have you, Joseph. So there's a lot happening. Let us even begin. Before we talk about people living with disability that we just saw right now, let us talk about the fact that two heavyweights actually casting your vote in the same polling unit, like the information which was given, APC and PDP. This happens to be like the first, and of course, I know what will be in the mind of a lot of Nigerians now is to await the outcome to see who will actually take that unit. I want a reaction on this.
Yeah, it's a good one as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, the son of the soil. Yeah, being privileged to have the location, and I would love to be in the. I would love to present location now to see the mood. Yeah, among their supporters. Of course, you have some supporters voting along for the PD Guba candidate, likewise for the APC governorship. So it's the beauty of democracy, yeah, having the shades of opinion. And again, what we need to look out for is that the political maturity, yeah, imbibed by these candidates, yeah. So, and also it should be a lesson to their supporters also not to feel unnecessary, anxious or in any way if the result. Desired result does not go their way. Of course, you should embrace the spirit of sportsmanship and accept the victory and forge ahead in contributing your quota to the development of Ogun State. Because Ogun State is a strategic state in Southwest. After Lagos, Ogun State is a state that you need to put your eyes on in terms of the value added. Because going by the IGR generated after Lagos, you can count on Ogun State there. So the state also promise and potential. So hopefully the state should queue behind the winner and forge ahead in ensuring that the state is the sustainable development, division, the political promises is fulfilled to the mass.
Now, for Larry Joseph, you are a politician, and you will agree with me that yes, Ogun State has been a state that is a giant. For me, it's a sleeping giant that has a lot of potentials. Like you have said, you know, it is it has the third largest IGR in Nigeria when it comes to states, and yet you have a lot of areas that are not developed, apart from maybe places like Abeokuta and maybe Ijebuland and some few places like that. But the majority of the areas in Ogun State are not totally developed. And that state has been, from the point of the PDP, you know, we had the Oba, then the Benga Daniel, AD. Then the AD, you PDP. Know, PDP and all that. It started coming up. Yet it seems that nobody has been able to actually do what is called a developmental, you know, plan for that state, you know, coming as a governor. But then, do you think this is not being partisan right now? Do you think the present governor of that state has the chances, you know, of coming back to his seat, or is he likely to lose it? And what is the credibility of the most prominent, you know, candidates to fighting against him? Or not fighting, contesting against him.
Again, you look at the array of candidates by the various political parties, from the ADC, the YPP. They are fine gentlemen. Fine. You have listened to them. I've listened to their plans for the state on how they want to uplift the standard of the state. Yeah, I agree with you that much development is not spread across the regions of the state, from the Yewa region, Jebu, Aziz, and the E4 and other areas of the state. But the issue is that I think we are getting wrong from the basis of governance, because let's say all the judges are guilty of this. They failed to, they destroyed the local government system. And local system should be the closest system of governance where people can feel that. If you go to E4, if you go to some area, some water, you ask yourself that yet we claim governance of the people and feeling the goodies, the dividends of good governance, the state of your road, flying that area is abysmal. To say that moving closer to the rainy season now, I don't want to put my in that area. So something is really fundamentally wrong, because the local government, our local government system is functional. At least fixing some make life easy for the residents, for the populace. In the statistics you push forward earlier on, respect of Ogun State as the GR state. It still boils down to accountability. I think we haven't done much to demand accountability from this government. Federal allocation, you are generating IGR, and IGR should be able to cushion the effect. Deploying capital expenditure is part of targeting projects that will stimulate economic activities that will improve your IGR. So that is the primary reason why you have IGR. IGR, if peradventure you are spending your federal allocation on personal expenditure, at least the IGR should be channeled into some specific play the economy that will make life easy, that will create opportunities for the youth. Healthcare center, I don't think you have visited any healthcare center in Ogun State now where you can access service without paying from your pocket, huge from your pocket. It shouldn't be at all. The basic in Ogun State is worrisome. I'm referring to the public schools. So that tells you that something is really wrong in terms of the leaders we appoint, we elect into various political offices in the state. I think this is today present an opportunity to the residents, to the citizens of Ogun State also to leaders who can even serve their collective interests. If they are okay with this, fine.
Now about a particular group of people. You saw the video. People in view of what you're talking. In society, elections come and go, and we had, provisions for them. And most of the provisions, things that we hear paper, and they are never articulated. And you think going forward, these people should be or actually recognize, as part of governance, among other things in society. How do you think?
Okay, thing first is that there should be a deliberate plan to bring them on board also. Because if we have democracy is about participation, inclusive participation is very, very who need soft loans also to set up their own business also. And in terms of mentorship also, the government, that is the responsibility of the private sector to ensure that these guys to contribute their quota to nation building, to their respective community, and in that way also they will pay their tax also, and of course it's for government to channel resources to specific sectors to ensure that the economic activity is up and running. It's not redundant, slowing down. It's not moving in a retrogressive manner. I think there should be a deliberate plan to bring them on board also, and through policies and on the part of the legislator, the state house assembly. Of course, they should to bring these people on board also, identify the selected demos of the gender, and you know their needs, and through engaging with them, you can draft a plan and formulate a policy that will ensure that they are well catered or they are well supported through grant, through quality education, skills acquisition, and what have you, and healthcare quality when the need arises. There is a little bit of health.
order. As we get to the election, you have to call on the attention of other securities to instantly come and take charge of the place. Thank God for everything. Everything is moving well. We can see that the election is going out peacefully. Since the military were here, we don't have anything again. But left alone with the police and the civil defense, things were not going normal. But thank God now things are actually going well.
All right. What about the issue of vote buying? Have you seen any traces? Have you seen any sign of vote buying or vote trading of any sort?
No. We're seeing that, but we have not seen anything as such. Actually, there was some little group of people that are trying to group themselves at the, but we don't actually know the outcome. But we actually stood by our side. We make sure that people that came to cast the vote are on the line, and nobody comes here to readdress them based on any vote buying or casting or the sole candidate they want the people to vote for. There's nothing like that. We're able to control the situation.
I just hope and pray that this is how this is being carried on across the nation. It's been a very pleasant experience, and I'm glad that I was able to cast my vote, and also that so many of us.
But that's not the same case going on all around. I'm getting series of complaints about intimidation, vote buying. It is literally crazy what is happening in Lagos today. So we're calling on INEC officials to please rise up and do the needful. In VGC currently, they've already camped out, brought everything out, ready to receive the INEC officials, but they're saying they should go and vote on the express lane, which is not fair. That is not where they've been voting all these years. So there are so many things that are going wrong right now, and Lagos State is quite disappointing what we are seeing today. So that's it.
What would you want just did around here?
Mine is peaceful. Well, there are not many people here, so I just came in and I was able to vote. So
what can you tell about the participants, the people coming out to vote? I heard it's low-key.
The turnout is low because of the amount of intimidation. From 5 a.m. this morning, I have been receiving calls from different areas where they have been shouting. They come with gunshots. I said nobody should come out to vote. If you are not voting for APC, do not come out. The threat is high, so people are afraid. But we're still speaking to people. The more people that actually come out, the more confidence people will have in the process. So please come out despite the intimidation. I don't know when this is going to be aired, but it's not what we expected. But Lagos State, there again, it's full of thuggery and everything. So we just trust God that everything will go smoothly. Judith Rhodes Bible. But that's not the same case going on all around. I'm getting series of complaints about intimidation, vote buying. It is literally crazy what is happening in Lagos today. So we're calling on INEC officials to please rise up and...
and Obafemi Owode before I got here. And initially, in the early hours of the morning, I inspected the racks, and I realized that men and materials were being moved to the polling units. And as I was moving on and on, I realized that voting had commenced, and I was stopping to see the performance of our beavers and, of course, our other materials, and the response has been very commendable.
You are going to ask me a question?
Yeah. Okay. Good
morning. Morning, sir.
Your name, please. And
my name is Ali Yahuza. This is Sabongida Polling Unit 007. Yeah.
Okay, please, can you give us a brief summary of what's proceedings here so far?
Okay, the challenge that we are facing for here is the polling unit. The number of people that collect the voters card is much, almost about 1,890. So they give us 2 viva. Even the 2 viva, you can see the population. The population is too much past this 2 viva. But although all those security, they are helping us. The thing they move normal for now. We don't have any issue.
Okay, so with the number of voters that you are going to that you are about to accredit today, do you think you'll be able to go around everybody?
Yes, by God's grace. By God's grace, because last time for presidential election, we didn't start quick. We start around 12:12. Then only few people, people who vote, they don't even reach 500. But you can see today, people that vote close to 1,000 right now. And by God's grace, before in the evening, we are going to clear those people.
So, have you seen any traces of vote buying or vote selling today?
No, nothing like that. They are doing normal voting. Yes.
Thank you.
You are going to ask.
From 1 to 4, community development.
From 1 to 4, our chairman.
Community development. We had another meeting with them 2 days ago, and we feel the one that should behave themselves. They should not go out with their vehicles unless the one that are working for ID. That one will be pasted with the stickers that every other person should stay at his polling unit, should not roaming around. So far, so good in our community.
Local government area of Oyo State, Ibadan, and we are at Ward 12, Unit 10. And of course, the exercise is still ongoing, but most voters have casted their vote and they are waiting for the collation of the result. Right now, we'll be speaking to the Accord Party candidate for the House of Assembly, Ibadan North East constituency. So, we are what he has to say about
our nation, for our community, because INEC seems to be getting it right.
So, do you have any issues with the
when I was accredited, I just used the photo accreditation, and it looks like it wasn't coming up. But when eventually used the term, it captured me within 5 to 10 seconds, which is absolutely fantastic.
So, what are your expectations from these elections?
Definitely, my expectation is my party is going to win, and we are going to win with a landslide victory, because you can see people are here celebrating with us already, and that is my belief that at the end of the day, the Accord Party is going to carry the day.
How about the security?
To be honest with you, the security apparatus need to be a bit ginger. As you can see here, there's not much security for our people, but because of the people around this community, they are law-abiding and peaceful. But you can see.
Welcome back. We are still on the gubernatorial election. And right now, I want to go to one of our reporters on the field in Lagos. We have Ololade. Okay. So, Ololade, hello, where are you?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I am at Ikeja.
Okay.
Unit 45, Ward 8.
All right. So, what is happening in Ikeja? We see Ikeja is a hot zone. It's a where you have a lot of people. So, what is happening in that particular ward?
Yeah, this particular ward, there are not so many people like that. People have come and gone. We have very few turnout of voters. And okay, the crowd came when the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate, Radical Revival, came to exercise his franchise.
Okay.
And afterwards, it's like so many of them left. But we had people who came from other polling units who came to complain that there are some people who are forcing voters to vote for a particular party.
So, so what you are trying to say is that there is some form of vote buying, because we've heard incidences of such in some other parts of the country.
Yes, there is an issue of vote buying and threats. We can call it threats.
Threats, okay.
If you are going to vote for this party, you do not have any business here. So they are asking people to go back if they are not going to vote for a particular party.
But did you by any chance see anything, you know, like any incidents resulting to that effect, or is this something that people just talked about?
Yeah, it's something that people just spoke about. We didn't really get the due this thing. People just complained about it, that they are being sent out and all of that.
So what of the security situation there now? I mean, do you have security operatives on ground to guide against such?
You said what?
Do you have security operatives on ground? Do you have security operatives on ground right now?
Yes, we have security on ground. We have the police and also at the NDC. We just have about 2 of them in each polling unit. And even also here, the INEC officials are not much. They are just about 2, which is not supposed to be so. They don't have a canopy over their head. They are just there. No much. There's no much provision for them like that.
So I want to ask: is this situation peculiar to Anifawoshe, or is this something that you saw in other wards that you visited?
Yeah, I can speak of Anifawoshe because. Like as I am in between about 3 polling units.
Okay.
So, and each of the polling units have just 2 security personnel, like that.
Okay.
So, you talk about the low turnout of people or voters. Now, during the presidential election, can you compare the turnout of people, or do you think the voter apathy played a part on this particular election?
Yes, the voter apathy really played a huge role in this election. The turnout for the presidential election was more than this. Okay. After the INEC officials came out and set up their electoral materials, I could say that the election, it didn't take up to 1 hour. The number of people there just voted and then they left. Unlike the presidential election, I feel that probably the treasury out has taken its toll on people and they don't really want to come out.
Okay. So now let's look at this data now. Like, what was the population of people who came out who are registered to vote in that particular polling unit, and the people who are there right now? Can you just give a vivid figure, or an imaginary figure to that?
Okay. The number of people that are supposed to vote in this polling unit are supposed to be about over 300. And with what I saw this morning, I could not count up to 50.
Wow. And that is the same polling unit that the Labour Party candidate voted?
Yes.
Okay, Ololaje.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Did tell us that the number was very low before Vival came, and immediately after he left, the number, or when he came, it increased, and when he left, it decreased again. Is this similar?
Can you take that again?
I said you did tell us that when the Labour Party candidate came in, before he came in, there was very low turnout of voters, but when he came in, there was a rush of voters who came in with him, and after he left, of course, it thinned out. So I want to find out, is this something that played out in other units that you went to, or is it just peculiar with the Anifawoshe unit?
Yeah, I think what really happened was when the Labour Party gubernatorial candidates came, I think people just came out to hail him. People just, some, as it is, people just
They were not voting.
They were not voting. And all of that. It's not that this did not really come out to exercise their franchise. They just want to see who this person is, hail him, and all of that.
Wow.
Anyway, Lolade, thank you so much for your time. We'll call you some other time.
Thank you so much, Lolade. Thank you.
Yes, Folari, yes, with that, we want to go into the dominance, party dominance, influence on the effect of this particular election. Now you heard about vote buying, you heard about threats, and there's apathy, you understand, and we would like to look at party dominance. Let's look at Lagos State, for instance. There's a particular party that has been on board for so many years right now, and there's another party or two other parties who seems to be pulling some form of weight at the moment. Do you think party dominance is going to play its part in this election fit of who comes in as the next governor?
I think the ultimate decider is the reported cases of voter suppression, intimidation across board. Even before coming on sale, we hear reports across Surulere, Ojo,
of threats.
Fadeye, chasing people that if you are not voting for a particular candidate, please go back home or not. I shouldn't be in a say the right to exercise your civic duty should be is non-negotiable, is your right. So the result to intimidation is very clear that imposing itself through its apparatus, through the how do the party trying to impose deploying its arsenal, the talks at its disposal, participating candidate in specific areas they've lost during the presidential election. Of course, I've noticed the trend. Some areas. Okay,
now this thing now it's about some particular areas, where they are perceived to have movements or opposition. The opposition could actually take the thing, or they actually lost in those some areas. Now, the INEC in itself actually assured of the security of being able to conduct a credible and a fair election. But then during the presidential election, we all saw what happened, and the result actually played out a particular way. So though I'm not the INEC, I don't know the INEC have announced who is the winner of that particular election, but this is a gubernatorial election which comes closer to the people, So do you think that INEC is true to it protecting people, providing the right logistics, and doing the right things?
First of all, the responsibility of INEC is to prepare for elections, budget represent the executive arm of government, release money for the budget set out for this purpose, and it is the responsibility of INEC to get its processes right in terms of mobilization, getting the logistics ready, and also in terms of security. INEC is not responsible for security, and the lead agency under the interagency consultative forum is chaired by the IGP of police, with the co-chairperson or the person of the National Security Advisor. They are responsible for ensuring that the atmosphere is safe for.
Let me chip in now. In the last election, there was a lot of presence of the the military. Let me say the police present, though without any guns or firearms, but they were present at these locations, and they were able to. We didn't hear much of violence in many areas, but at this location we'll be hearing just 2, 1, 2, 3, few policemen here and there securing the lives of people. And then the INEC, just what you listen to right now, you see just 2 officials as against maybe 5 or 6 officials. So how do we say it now, or how will it be when these votes have been counted? Would the INEC receive it with an open hand that is a credible election coming from a credible voting, or is he going to just go to the winds?
You see, INEC needs to be responsible in terms of putting his house in order in preparing for this election. In some areas, like you rightly pointed out in the report filed in already, where two are manning the electoral with the polling unit. That, okay, maybe INEC is short of personnel in getting the adequate number, at least to prevent or even set out in terms of emergency. Maybe there's malfunction of the beavers machine, or there's any little issue. And that tells you that there's no backup plan in play now, and this may affect collation of results at the end. Or so we'll start hearing stories again that okay, so number doesn't tally with the accredited voters. So from the last election to the now, INEC has not stepped up its game in ensuring that they are up to do, and it says a lot about the credibility of the institution.
Now we'll talk about INEC, we'll talk about government, yes. But from the reports that we've gotten right now, two things play out. Yes. Like from the report from Lolade right now in Lagos State, even though we have the same thing happen in Ogun State, the fact that there's vote buying, which is number one, and again the fact that some Nigerians actually threaten fellow citizens not to come out to vote unless they are voting for certain people. Now, this has to do with something that is personal. It has to do with the citizenry this time. It has nothing to do with INEC. It has nothing to do with the federal government. But again, these are people. The elections are to put credible people that would steer the course of affairs, that will serve the people and give us the dividend of democracy. Now, they are watching. Most of the people who did this today are actually watching and listening. How do you think this will affect the next 4 years in terms of the election, if people can come out because of the threat, and of course if people sell their conscience once again by this cashless payments being given to them? Let the people know how this would affect the innocent ones in society, because obviously people who perpetrate such acts really do not care about their future.
I think first thing first, to create the enabling atmosphere for elections to take place, security agency has the sole responsibility for that, and we can't really blame INEC fully, because INEC's responsibility is to ensure that the materials arrive early.
I didn't tell people to threaten people not to come out to vote.
Yeah, that's exactly. So the security agency
to actually go into, because this should play.
Yeah, that's
even before the results turnout come out.
Yeah, that's why the presence of security agency is very, very paramount in across all board, across polling units, watching, observing political canvassers, parties, canvassers and agents who are trying to indulge in this act just to gain an upper edge over their opponent. But it boils down to the desperate tendency of our political of the candidates who are contesting for this election. This win at all cost syndrome. I think this is the issue. That's why they go the extra mile to deploy every useful tools at their disposal in ensuring that they have an edge over their opponent, in ensuring that engaging some of these willing voters who are ready to trade their votes for a little cash, and which this little cash cannot even sustain them for a month, not talk of a week. So and again looking at the economic hardship in the land, of course, so many people might fall into this temptation of trading their vote. You know the case of the cash scarcity in the land, and you see someone who is willing and ready to pay a token for your vote, and some might not give it a second thought. Some are willingly accept.
So another thing I want to ask you, I want to talk about, is the fact that a lot actually told us that when Vivo came, that's the Labour Party came out to vote, there were a lot of praise singers. At first, I thought that they actually came out to vote, like vote. Oh, yeah. But now she actually cleared the air by letting us know that they actually came to just praise and sing. not voting. If you put this praise singing side by this taking money for conscience, I mean, how do you see this play out in the politics? You see this result affect the people?
Yes, of course. This you can't rule the application of.
They came out to praise and they didn't vote.
Yes, and
we need them to vote to get the results that we want.
Yeah, it's important to the consciousness of the citizens and the eligible voters on the implication of their action, because action and inaction have consequences. Not voting in this election, of course, you have the 4 years to live with your consequences. And also, you know that any trading your vote in a certain direction has consequences also. So the citizen choices, and it doesn't all goes well for good governance, because so much noise has been made complaining about the hardship in the land, about the government policy, frustrating their businesses, frustrating their activities, and an opportunity, to abnormally to right the wrongs, present itself is the opportunity. So of course, the citizen will live with their choices, as far as I'm concerned.
With that, let's go to this incumbency, the narrative of incumbency now. Let's use Lagos State and some other states. You find out that a lot of states now, the present governor and somebody who is contesting against them, some of these governors just have one more term left. And some either done well or they've not done well, or they have done well, but there are people things that they well or whatever. So there's this incumbent thing, like this person, away from the party.
Yeah.
And we also want this person, or this person is not credible enough. So how do we see that issue of NC? Is it going to work at this time? Nigerian politics is going. Is it still going to work? The power balance is still going to work, or are we going to have a total shift from it?
I think with the report we see so far, and even the incumbency factor, we're seeing the full functionality of the power being deployed, non-state actor, like I wanted to remember earlier on, into voters, preventing them for civic responsibility. And one thing is clear is that the desperate nature of our politicians, particularly the sitting governor, because it will be like a ridicule that an opposition take back power from you. And we'll see that played out. We'll see that in Oyo State in 2011. The late Alawa Kala was defeated by late Ajimobi, Senator Abiola Ajimobi in 2011. So we'll see that played out also. But in Lagos, the ruling party had been in power since 1999. So it has entrenched itself across board with massive full soldiers across the local government. So, and it is always difficult to defeat the incumbency if there is no united opposition. Because if
there is no united opposition,
yeah, it is very, very difficult. It is always very, very difficult. Because I remember also in 2019 also in Oyo State also there was a coalition that delivered Abiola that delivered Sheyi Makinde to office. Yes. Other parties very came together and supported him. In Lagos, we are before now, few weeks from now, we are hearing an alliance between the two leading the opposition, and we saw that the talks failed because none of them are ready to shake grounds for the of the citizen, and it gives the incumbent, because depleting your vote in two different places on a single vote, of course it will affect the down of the result. Like I say also, the incumbency agency at its disposal, deploying the with the arts can easily influence them and persuade them in a way to some strategic area where he needs to suppress voters. So these are what plays out. These are what the incumbent deploy during election day. It gains the extra edge, upper edge over his opponent.
Just the incumbents that takes part in some of this malpracticing and whatever. Is it just the incumbent? Because the issue that state, or rather that was reported from Ogun State, is that 4 party members are not of the ruling party. I'm not going to mention the party here now, but they were caught to vote buying using credit card of you have to use a particular code to be able to get the money about into your account, and that is after vote buying, after voting. It's coming from an opposition.
Yeah, it tells you about the nature of a politician, whether the opposition, of course, deploying every useful tools at his disposal in ensuring that to get these voters' sympathy to vote in their direction, to vote in a particular direction. So that is the reality of our democracy. Yeah, of course. Our politicians, so many of them, they lack values. Of course, when they get there, you can't hold them accountable because they believe that they bought their way into power. So they will feel they don't owe you explanation for their action and inaction.
I wish we could go on and on this topic, but we don't have time to pursue it any further because we have another guest that is standing by. And we have more reports coming from the field. In fact, we have tons of reports. We're wondering
so much.
But we want to thank our guest for being part of today's discussion and analysis during this time. George?
Yes, I want to thank our guests for coming on at this time. We'll have another guest lined up. It is not going to be so easy. The elections are not over yet. We're still expecting results and so many other things. Yes, we're just looking at some states, just within, but there's some other states too from the southeast, south, and a lot of them that things. Interesting dramas are happening as we speak right now. But we will continue with this live broadcast of the gubernatorial election. We'll go on this very short break, and when we return, we'll be taking calls from some of our reporters, and also you can also call in, the number on your screen there. You can call the number there, call in, send messages, whatever, to say this is the situation of things happening in your area, and you tell us much, and we can interact here. We're still here, and we'll be here until they probably announce the results, or maybe others. So we'll be right back with other things in this particular broadcast.
I didn't see much security, so I think the security apparatus need to do some more about the security deployment security. There are some notorious areas. If things like this happen there, definitely it's going to be chaos. So I'm not highly satisfied with the security system. I think more needs to be done about the security. But so far so good in this community because of our law-abiding nature. That is why you can see that all of us, we are laughing and working together, no problem here. But elsewhere, where is a hot point, I think there should be more security deployed to that area. But so far so good around this stage. Yes, they can see the civil defense going around. I don't think civil defense alone can curb the menace of insecurity in our community, especially in our state department. That we know that the security is a very serious problem of the community. I think security needs to be beefed up.
Okay, I'm Amuda Monica from Pushit. I'm Waserkit. The last election, what I experienced, people turned out in mass, and we don't find any problem. Everybody was obedient to the electoral rule. So what makes me to come out this? I came out to vote and exercise my civil rights because I want to vote for my agent that will stand for us and work for us. As you can see, people, everybody has voted. Today's one is a bit fast, as I can see it. For last time, the beaver was having a little problem. But for this one, honestly, we can see INEC has done something very good for us to hold on to. But last one, honestly, we find problem.
One last question. Are you going to wait? As the elderly, you're sitting there, they're waiting. Their votes counted. Are you also going to wait on the vote is counted and uploaded on the IRF?
I will wait and stop my votes. I will make sure the vote reach where it's supposed to reach and nothing happens to it. Never go home. I must wait. Yes.
Your name, ma?
My name is Honorable Riskat Adenike Yusuf.
Okay.
Supervising Council of Wapa.
Okay. What do you see to the electoral process here?
Going fine. It's okay. It's better than 15 days ago. People now come out. Maybe it's because of the governor, the continuation. I can't say, but people are coming out.
Okay. So do you think that INEC has improved the process better than the presidential election? The beavers and all of that.
They are beaver. Today now they now type my number. You now bring my pictures out. So I know they have improved. It's gradually. Rome is not built in a day, so it's gradually. By the next time we are going to, it's going to be an improvement of it again.
Okay, so did you see any issue of vote buying in your own polling units?
No.
Thank you very much.
No mention. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Esther Phillips. I'm here to vote. Already I've casted my votes. So the electoral process here is kind of calm. Everywhere I voted Anifoshe. This is Anifoshe. So my area here is very calm. There's no issue. I have finished and I'm going back home now. So for when the votes will be counted, I might come back.
Okay. Did you see any change whatsoever? Like any betterment whatsoever in this process, like the presidential election?
Okay, what I'm seeing here, the first time we come, we had to look for our names. So today when I just come, they just asked me if I voted before. I said yes, so they just asked for my card and everything. They just take my picture
so
and ask me to.
INEC has improved their process on like the presidential poll.
Well, they tried because the last time I know I was walking around Anifoshe looking for my units. I know my polling unit, but my name was not there, so I had to be walking all around for looking for my name. But today, I know where I voted last time, so I just came it and they attend to me, and I'm good.
Okay, so looking at your polling, is there any issue of vote buying whatsoever? Security problems?
No, not at all.
Vote buying?
Yeah, no vote buying, no because although we are not much yet, my polling unit are not much, just come. Not long I came and I have casted my vote, so I'm going back home. Yeah, thank you very much.
I didn't see much security, so I think the security apparatus need to do some more about the security, deploying security. There are some notorious areas. If things like this happen there, definitely it's going to be chaos. So I'm not highly satisfied with the security system. I think more needs to be done about the security. But so far so good in this community because of our law-abiding nature. That is why you can see that all of us, we are laughing and working together, no problem here. But elsewhere, where is a hot point, I think there should be more security deployed to that area. But so far so good around this place. And yes, they can see the civil defense going around I don't think civil defense alone can curb the menace of insecurity in our community, especially in our state department. That we know that the security is a very serious problem of this community. I think security needs to be beefed up. I didn't see much security, so I think the security apparatus need to do some more about the security deployment. There are some notorious areas.
Yes, welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's our live broadcast on the gubernatorial election today happening in the country. We're going to take a call right now, going straight to Abeokuta. Our field reporter is there, Jumoke Adebari, who will be giving us update on what has been happening beyond all that we've brought to you earlier. Jumoke?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. How are you, dear? So,
okay, so
tell us what is going on there.
Yeah, we're currently at the NNPP governorship candidate polling unit here at Obafemi Owode local government. That's Ofada Ward. So right now, I mean, before we have got the voting stage, we were driving just behind the governorship candidate, Olufemi Asadi, and then we couldn't even cross through because we were just hearing gunshots. So we had to just stay at a particular place to hide. I mean, safety is the first thing. So eventually we were able to get to a safe space, and then we were able to chat with the governorship candidate who expressed disappointment on the INEC. And I mean, the first complaint we had was just the fact that on the ballot paper, NNPP logo was the only thing on the ballot paper. There was no name. And then he told us that at the instant, even before the election, they made this complaint to the INEC, and then an official letter was written so that they could justify it. Unfortunately, it wasn't. So you could only wonder, okay, so when coalition begins, how are they going to call the vote of a party when there is no name, and then the only thing on the ballot paper is just the logo? And if you could recall, we have over 18 political parties. So just like a presiding officer trying to call out results, I mean, just like the last presidential election, you know, they call results through, I mean, via the names like APC 1,
yes,
PDP 3, you know, and that. So you could only wonder how NNPP results is going to be announced, because the only thing on that ballot paper is just the logo. The name wasn't there. So the governorship candidate said he is going to sue INEC. So that was its first concern. And then it was also shocking to see that at his own polling unit, which is the Ofada polling unit, it was harassed by APC and PDP folks. I mean, allegedly, because we really could not talk to these people. I mean, there's no way we can be able to identify if really they are APC or PDP folks. But then he was harassed. They were dragging guns with his security agencies that were with him, and then he also dodged, you know, the gunshot because it was in his car, so he had to just drive away from the polling unit. He couldn't even vote at his own polling unit because of the insecurity issues. And then, of course, he also told us, because we could not film this particular incident because it wasn't safe. So he also said it in the clip I sent that there was vote buying going on with the PDP and the APC, vote buying in excess. I mean, he said it's shocking things. And then how do we now describe the election process? So he said he's disappointed in INEC, he's disappointed in the government of today, and that he is going to ensure that INEC is sued.
So apart from the NMPP candidate, the other polling units that you actually went to, did you have any incident like this, or it was peaceful?
Sorry, can I come again? I can't hear you clearly.
I said, apart from this situation that happened with the NNPP candidate, other polling units that you went to, did you have the same problem?
Yes. We have also reported a particular, local government. We have not been able to actually pinpoint the particular polling unit, but the chief press officer of the Governorship sent us the information via our platform, that's the National Union of Journalists, and then he sent us the information that, you know, police arrested some PDP party agents with several credit cards and several PVCs.
So as soon as we're able to get the particular polling unit, I'm going to forward details here. And then there's also the NDLEA also got some people, PDP party agents with several PDPs as well, and another polling unit. So obviously, I mean, in the morning when we're out from Abeokuta North, we were at Abeokuta North local government, in Tuko and several other places. There were massive turnout of voters, and then we had issues where at some particular polling units there were no security operatives. So it was very difficult for the INEC adult staff to control the crowd because people were trying to boycott the queues. So basically, that became like a rancor. And then there's another polling unit where it's the polling unit of the recently elected Akwa without the Afghan representative member who was just recently elected, And then we saw around polling unit that there were also no security operatives. And we also could see how some of the voters were yelling and screaming that they were being threatened by thugs, and they actually cited a gun. My colleague here, Valo, also cited a gun. So it was really unsafe for us to move closer to, these thugs. And then, I mean, there's no way they're going to speak to us, but they were able to off the camera because for the fear of unknown and for the fear of their own life. These people could not speak to us on camera, but then they told us that there is gun. I mean, the other guys that danced with us had gone to the pocket, and then he showed them, and he even threatened to shoot them if they did not vote for a particular candidate. So I would say that, from the presidential election that happened that was about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, to this recent governorship election, I would say that as a journalist, I'm not going to rate it free, fair, and credible from the reports we've gotten so far. I cannot conclude because, I mean, it's still midday, so we'll get more results before the end of the day.
Yes, Jimmy, that's a job well done. Yes, but I want to ask now, you talked about a massive people coming out. Can you compare that same number with the same number of people that came out for the presidential election? That is one. Two, about the Togri issue going on in that place, and with the threat to one of the NNPP gubernatorial candidates. How come, INEC, no INEC official has said anything concerning that, or have you spoken to any INEC official concerning such incidents?
We have spoken to the INEC rep, who said he has been to about 6 local governments, even mentioned it, already sent the clip as well, Obafemi, Abeokuta South, and other local governments. And then he told us in the morning, because we spoke to him earlier before, we just left the NNPP polling unit. So he told us that from your data staff, he has never been functioning effective. However,
do you have any question there?
No, the line is breaking up.
Okay, Jimmy, we'll have to call you back some other time. I appreciate your, this report.
About the party logo and naming on the ballot paper. So he emphasized that before now, they were able to see that, this might not be able to be rectified. So just to be on the safer side, he wrote a formal letter to INEC complaining to them that the party logo and name should be on the ballot paper. But unfortunately, even as of today, this is the actual election day, the only thing on that ballot paper is just the NNPP logo. So we're hoping that maybe by the time we get to another location, we'll be able to speak with the INEC electoral officer, who is going to be available to speak with us. But for now, we have not been able to get a reaction, to counter these alleged NNPP's missing name on the ballot paper.
All right, Jimmy, we'll call you some other time. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's take that report. Let's take the report that Jimmy just spoke about, and when we come back, we'll be introducing you, let you meet our guest in the studio. So we'll take a short break. When we come back, that discussion will begin. Stay with us.
Ambassador Comrade Olúfẹ́mi Àjàdí Ògúntóyìnbó tí mo jẹ́ olùdíje fún ipò gómìnà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Even in my own political, where I'm passing APC gather hoodlums to attack me as my polling unit. I'm so disappointed in this country. I'm so disappointed about the leaders that we have. I don't understand that people cannot just move around freely to the extent they are dragging gun with my security. You don't imagine. No. This is not an election. From the ballot paper, I can see the name of my party there, NPP. After reaching to the INEC, submitted to the INEC, acknowledged it that we submitted this letter for amendment to make sure that it correct everything because it's not only election. And today is the election. We can't find the name. Only logo. I don't know what is going on in the country. So that is what I have.
Have you been able to direct this?
Yes, it's still the gubernatorial election all across the country, and you're watching the live broadcast from our studio here in KAFTAN. Yes, we have in our studio right now to continue to look at issues, arising from the day's election proceedings. That's the gubernatorial elections. We have Tio Akatuba, who is a social commentator. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Happy election day.
Yes, happy election day to you.
How are you? Good to see you.
Same here.
Right.
Yeah, yes, sir. Now, you heard what our reporter have said, all the way from Ogun State. We had that same issue here in Lagos. Probably we had some issues from up north, from Nasarawa State, some discrepancies here and there. An NNPC gubernatorial candidate, NNPP now, did not in any way see his logo on the ballot sheet. His name.
The logo was there.
The logo was named. His name is there. We had that same incident in the last election. That's the presidential election, where we had the Labour Party. We did not see the name of the candidate, but we only saw the logo of the Labour Party. That's a recurring incident, and that same issue happened during the chairmanship election in Lagos some time ago, last year or so, and the YPP also reported such incident that almost went viral with the arrest of the YPP, chairmanship of a particular local government in Lagos State. Why do we keep having this kind of a recurring issues, despite the promises by INEC?
The question is it his name or his party name?
The logo.
No, what name?
His name.
The name of
the party's name. His party's name. NNPP.
The name of the party is the logo of the party that is always on the ballot box. If there is your logo is designed in a way that your name is separate from the logo, sometimes they won't carry the name. And so that's why you see parties that their name is embedded in their logo. And so if your name, some parties have the image and their name separate. In that case, because of the size of the space available, they might not be able to take the name, but the logo will be captured. On the ballot paper, you don't have names of candidates, you don't have necessarily name of parties. For example, the Labour Party is abbreviated to LP.
So what do you think this man is talking about?
It's strange to me because he's expecting a name and we don't know which name he's talking about.
Now, you talked about experienced party. Yes. They don't find themselves in this regard. What do you mean by that when you say experience?
You see, in everything you do in life, experience is important. If you have experience, little things, and you won't worry about things that other people worry about. If you are going into an election, you should have known already what is expected on the ballot paper. Otherwise, you might agitate. For example, during the last election, we had LP members crying that their logo did not appear on certain ballot in some areas. But they have a lot, those ones who were complaining didn't know that if you don't have a contestant in a particular area, your party logo will not be reflected because the ballot paper are printed specific to candidates that have entered, parties that have entered candidates for those offices. Okay. For example, this, if the logo is not there at all, maybe his candidacy was not filed with INEC, or something has happened at the last minute, a case. So he said that because INEC will not omit your name.
So who
deliberately, if they do so,
whose challenge is this?
It has an effect of nullifying the election.
Okay. But our reporter actually said that this issue came up before this particular election today, and that the NNPP candidate or the party itself had gone to INEC. They wrote a series of letters, because I heard her say it like twice, that they wrote a series of letters to rectify whatever problems they were having with INEC. But unfortunately today, the same problems that they wrote a letter about that obviously discussed with INEC came up.
That's what I'm saying.
By the names.
What is the problem? We didn't see the letter. We were talking about his cry. His cry might be to, you see, what if your name is not on the logo? It has an effect to nullify that election.
Feel there's an underlying
so many things are being.
So that the election from that particular ward
where he's contesting
could actually be nullified.
If indeed INEC omitted his name inadvertently or deliberately.
So who's at disadvantage or
to the
advantage?
contestants who are contesting, because the elections can be nullified.
Okay,
because of the misdemeanor or the fact that INEC did not do what is right.
It's still coming from.
You see that everybody's action has an effect on one another.
Yes.
When you hear of the violence we are hearing, it has an effect on cancelling the votes in that area. If the votes are cancelled, those who were to win would have lost. And he who wants to win an area doesn't fight. The people who normally create violence are those at the risk of losing. No one will disrupt a polling unit where you are guaranteed a victory.
So the issue of this vote buying now, what do you say about that?
Are we back to that? I thought we had money.
We're back to transferring money.
Okay, you are using transfers.
Yes, now.
Let me explain to you. You see that Lagos, I feel as a citizen of this country, we cannot fixate. There's no law that says that you want someone to come and do something for you and you give him transport to be able to come to the polling unit, or give him drink. Yes, because we are making so much noise about it. I feel that Nigerians should pass that and deal with the big issues. If someone has enough money and he has 1 million voters and he can give them to 2 million, to 2,000, that is his business. It's not your money he's spending.
So
that is why.
Is not vote buying.
Because no, what is? I feel that we said money should be taken off the streets so that they won't buy vote.
Yes.
We are not saying they transfer the buying. Don't you see, therefore, that we are really dissipating energy on unproductive things and focus on the big picture? We should enlighten the electorate. We should advance the voter so that such monies are gifts to him. But we are focusing on a politician is a man who wants power. See the electoral new reforms, they still buy. It's the people, the politician is actively seeking power. It's like a man who goes into a contest. He wants advantage. Look at WAEC. As much as WAEC has been perfecting his system, don't you see cheating? Have you seen any WAEC exam where results were not cancelled? And today, new technology is being introduced. The students, including parents, are improving their systems of it, including schools. So what are we to therefore say WAEC is failing because people are still cheating? Every organization continue to improve, but the human element, the Nigerian in everything, because your boss, the chairman of your station, he made a statement that I respect. In fact, he was one of my favorite candidates in this election. He made a statement. He said the culture of corruption and cheating, which is in the Nigerian, was what was at play. The best laws in the world will not change the average Nigerian.
So it is the people that is the problem.
Absolutely. Elections can be conducted by secondary school students. Election can be. I was passing just now at Ogba, and I saw the polling officer, the youth corper sleeping. After she was heard on the table because no voter. Very quiet. What's election? It's a matter of vote counting. but because of the benefit, the inordinate benefit that comes with holding office in our climb. That's why people are fighting. The advantage you get. If your man is in office, you think the miracle has come. Your chances are brighter. You will hold apparatus of office, money will flow into your pocket, you will live big in your community.
Now, talking about threats.
That's why people are fighting.
Theo,
yes.
In Lagos State, we actually got a report of the fact that voters were threatened not to come out to vote unless they were voting for a particular candidate. It happened in Lagos State. Then, of course, we heard Ogun State with the gunshots that my a reporter just said now, and of course, threats to voters also. For me, I've never heard this happen before, and it has happened now. The fact that certain people in society will come out and threaten other people not to come out to vote unless they are voting for a particular party. I've never heard it before, but it has happened now.
Yes, now you see we are making progress.
So there's the progress there.
Yes, the evidence is that
Oh my God.
the voter is becoming powerful. The voter is becoming a scare to the politician. If a politician is good and is paid his dues and work hard for the people,
He doesn't need to threaten
people. That evidence of his failing. That's why. And whoever threatens someone because you want to win the vote is because you are not worth your political foot soldierness. Because in an area where that one is talking, you want to deliver the area. The era of delivering an area is almost going now because you can't deliver anything anymore. The voter needs to deliver you into the office or take you out. That's progress. Now, it's condemnable for anyone to say, to come to the public space and make an open declaration that don't come out if you are not voting for a certain party. What immediately comes to my mind is that in this election, it's a battle. Voter is trying to remove a bad government, and you want the bad government to allow you to do it easily.
And so the bad government need to do something to make
The
sure.
voter must be very resolute. The voter cannot sit at home and expect the change. Change comes through effort. And in what way do they even know who you want to vote for?
Anyway,
you see, hold on. The reason why Nigerians are crying is because they didn't want to go and vote. How do you know who I will vote for? I have voted. The people around me, how did they know? They don't know what I vote. So if you threaten that, don't come out to vote if you don't vote for us, and I came out, it means I want to vote for you. Is that not? Then I walk into the polling and I vote for who I want. Do you have any mechanism? Is there any art to read the mind's construction from the face? You can see my voted pattern in my heart. What magic? So those who are weak, lazy, who are into the fray of politicking, even in America, there were violence. Ballot box was snatched in America. And Nigeria, a very third country in development, expect a perfect election at this stage. Can't you see the reforms that we have achieved? People still want to bypass them. We don't. I think when you over expect that you have become so successful, so developed, when first world countries are still having difficulties, elections are still being regarded as rigged. No, those who want to come into this business, you should know that power is a serious business. Your supporters must be resolute. They must not just be afraid of a mere threat. If you pick a gun, do you know if you are shooting your supporters? Because a gunshot, if a gunshot happened in Ogun, one gunshot, there could be 10 gunshots. What if election is not taking place and gunshot took place? So let's not bother about that. Let's look at where we are going. Let's tell Nigerians. I see voter discouragement. People are saying voter apathy. There's no voter apathy. Nigerians, we ended up discouraging voter after the 25th of February. The media, the candidate that lost, they discouraged our voters. Instead of focusing on the next election, consolidating their gains, they were discrediting the system, telling them that the election is faulty, the worst in the world, and now the voters say, our God said it, where are we going?
And so there's apathy.
Yes.
Not apathy. It's voter discouragement.
Voter discouragement.
By media and those who lost.
Now, something happened in Nasarawa State that I want us to take a look. In fact, we have a report on Nasarawa State where the state PDP gubernatorial candidate David Emmanuel Obungadu, it said that there have been incidents of fake ballot papers from ECBA and other result sheets, fake ballot papers. I think this is the first time we're getting reports during this election, especially the general from the presidential election to the gubernatorial election. I don't understand how we could actually have fake ballot papers, during the election.
Very possible.
So
it's printable.
All the way in Nasarawa?
Yes, but it's printable anyway.
So
if the person want to...
How was it? But was INEC caught sleeping?
No,
or?
not INEC. You see, there is no crime that will be committed without a complicit insider. Can you manipulate an election without an INEC official? And who is an INEC official? Is it not a fellow Nigerian who got an appointment and celebrated that he won't hit now, he want to blow? Do you think he's an INEC official? He went for the job because a lot of them are not sincere. They call politicians. I am wreck in this area. Can you come and sort me? I can work with you. Look, we're just having elections now. We never had. Okay. In Delta State, the votes are shared.
Theo, we need to go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue on your thoughts on your thoughts. So, if you're just joining us, this is a live broadcast on the gubernatorial election today, taking place on the 18th. When we come back, we have more for you. Stay with us.
Come back. You can't stay close to him and get in your phone. You go get and get away. The name of what? Just go for E. E or I. It's E.
Presently, I'm here to observe in Ojodubega, trying to make sure at least everywhere is calm. So, and I can see that the environment is very calm. So people are out to vote for their candidate of their choice.
Okay, is this? I'm sure you have visited some other polling.
I've visited Lagos Island. I've visited mainland. I've visited Ojodu, Ikeja, Ibutemeta, Apapa.
So what's your general view?
Everywhere is calm. At least Lagosians, they have the decision, so they are out to make their decision that okay, this is who they want and this is the person they want.
What advice would you be giving to voters if by the time the results are being announced? What would be your advice to them?
My advice is they should all wait to the end of the counting. When the result is out, they should wait and they should always be peaceful. They started on a good note, so we want a happy Lagos. We want a peaceful Lagos. So since they have been peaceful since the beginning, so please, the process is also peaceful. The end, they should be peaceful. We don't need to fight each other. All these aspirants, don't be surprised. They will sit talking to each other. They will play. They will do everything. They will even share contracts. So I don't see any reason why you come into the polling unit to quarrel, to fight for. You cannot fight for them. For example, the president-elect is a very peaceful man. So you can see even when he emerged, he's telling everybody he's going to fix. He even accommodated the youth. Everybody is even saying sorry to the Labour Party, sorry to APC, sorry. So the thing is, we should learn to love each other. We want a peaceful country, we want a peaceful Lagos. So anybody that emerge, please, we should just accommodate and take the result on a peaceful note, please.
Okay, there's been some. What's your take on this?
My view on this, at least I mentioned that I've went to almost 10 local governments now. I can't see any threat anywhere. Yes, there's no threat there. There's no threat anywhere. So the thing is our civil rights. Just come out and vote. And it has been peaceful. So far. You can see for yourself that where we are now is a very peaceful. So people are coming out, they are casting their votes, and they are hanging around to wait for the last process when they will be counting the summary. So I don't think there's anything like that. People can always put story. You know Nigerians and you know beans, so that one is normal.
Thank you so much. So Ibadan, Northeast Local Government area of Ibadan, and of course we have 3 polling units here at the Ibadan Northeast Ward 9 to be precise. And right now we are seeing voters sitting down waiting till the end of the voting exercise so the counting of the results can begin. Right now I'll be speaking to one of the voters to share her experience on the voting process.
I'm a minister.
So how was the election exercise?
We thank God. It's going smoothly. Nothing wrong with us at all. No fighting. We help each other together. Yes.
Firstly, I want to thank the people of Nasarawa State, to appreciate them, and also to use this opportunity to encourage them that they should be calm, be calculative, they should watch the process and also guide the process. For all I care is that this election is of the people, and the people are on ground, and we do expect that the people should also monitor closely. There are rumors everywhere about fake ballots, about fake result sheets. My think about this is that we're here. We will follow it. Whatever the commission provided, whether it's fake or it's original, we will go with it. We will police that same result to the end point where I will be declared as the governor of Nasarawa State. I told you, they are afraid, and we are very optimistic that by the end of this process, I will be the governor-elect of Nasarawa State.
Around 10 o'clock, election have not started in that polling unit. And the answer is that the Beaver is having technically which way is the way. For them to call local people to come in, and up to now we do not know. If there are other polling units like that, what would be your advice in terms of this?
Firstly, I want to...
Welcome back. You're still here. It's the gubernatorial election 2023 going around the whole country at the moment. So we're going to be calling on one of our reporters who is on the field right now, Clinton Ovunda, to talk to him, ask questions about what is happening in the area. Yes, Clinton. Hello. Hello, Clinton.
Hello, Clinton.
Hello, Clinton. Can you?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Yes, Clinton. First of all, you are in the polling units. That's E3, Ward E3, and the polling unit 6 and 7 on the Lagos Island. So, what is happening over there? It's a place where you have lots of let me say, lots of people who are in power are over there. So, what is happening there?
Okay, the situation report here is still calm and peaceful. Since I got here, although there have been times when we heard some placards or some area boys, their normal way shouting things for things. But apart from that, some agents from security calmed everything down, and this was exactly where the Lagos State governor cast his vote, and he left already. So apart from that few times where we had shouting and things from the area boys, their usual way, everything has been peaceful, smooth, sound, and there has been no fighting or problems out here.
Okay, now we've had incidences at some INEC places. INEC did not give more than 2 persons to officials at this polling unit. So, do you have more of INEC staffs at this polling unit around you? and places where you have visited it?
Yeah, there are lots of INEC staff here, as I can see, even I can see some of them just patrolling around, and they are doing their job effectively well. That makes it easy for everybody. Before the election process started, the first of all had that where they explained to everybody how the process would go and how they would go with that. After that, it has been smooth. They've been explaining to people, helping people out on where to do and what to do, how to do everything. It's been smooth. We have lots of function staff around on their uniforms. I can see them with their clothes like they always wear, the jackets. We have lots of them and they're working effectively.
So Clinton, how has the turnout been like? How has that been like today? Compared to the presidential election, how has the turnout been with this gubernatorial election going on?
Okay, I would say the turnout here has been really high, unlike the presidential election. I think it was more today. It was actually very an interview with the Lagos State Governor. Unlike when it was presidential election, it wasn't as crowded as today. The turnout was much bigger in the presidential election.
Okay. What about security personnel? Do you have more of them on ground in this? You say? Security personnel, are they on ground? Do you have much of them there?
Yeah, we have ground, but not massively.
Okay.
But I mean, the polling unit is calm. Yes, that's why we don't have lots of them here, but we have a couple of them here.
Yes, Clinton, I like the teams where you are, just walk in the park, doing so well. I hope there is no voters' apathy with the population of people coming out to vote. We'll call you back some other time to ask you more questions. All right. Yes, Mr. Katugba. Let's relate this now to the credibility of INEC. We've had issues, and you said we're a third world country, and so we are thinking we should be better than, America, where they are still, carrying away ballot boxes, better than them. But, we have learned, we are learning from the big boys. And so shouldn't we be better than those who we are learning from?
Yes, we should. I agree with you, but you have to also think of the quality of your citizens. Do you have them?
The quality of your citizens.
No nation can rival the quality of your citizens. No school, no nation can see of its teachers. What is the quality of your education? What's the quality of those who have tasted, who have been educated by you? Are they of a pristine type? What level of nobility do we have? What's our faith application? Are we truly godly people? Do we fear God? So when you look at all that indices, then you are asking those people to come and perform a perfect system. It means you are expecting too much or your own disappointment.
But these are also imperfect people, when you are comparing maybe the US, some other places. These are also imperfect people operating in a perfect society.
No, they also have issues. Till today, the last election is still being contested. The losers are still crying. The evidence of the court cases are still on. Perfection is not on earth, but we must keep trying, right? That means you must develop your people. We're looking at INEC now. INEC as our electoral body have to be preserved. That's number one. By you, by the politician, by the voter, and by those who work there. If we don't, then we have nothing. Anyone who says INEC is not good and still contest an election INEC conduct, who is the fool?
So are you trying to say that INEC is credible?
I didn't say so.
Has done well so far.
I said you must commend them for their good and knock them for their failings. If you don't separate and use one brush, it means you don't understand how you develop institutions. INEC remains one of the most developed organizations, made progress in Nigeria, including international observation. And because of last election, we are all busily destroying the INEC completely, saying that is the worst. And if you do that, an international organization read a review of our comment, in real sense, the outcome of that election, does it represent a worst election? The outcome doesn't represent that. But there are failings. There are criminals. In Nigeria, they are criminals. They are our brothers and sisters.
So how do we...
Even God Almighty said, amongst my people are wicked ones. So you think there will be 200,000 INEC staff, there will not be one bad guy, and then that bad one becomes a representation of the good. The same way the Nigerian police. They are all our brothers. They are the ones that our young ones went to fight that they should end SARS. Are they not fellow brothers, husbands of wives, fellow Nigerians that were SARS? So please, let us just be enjoying our progress and trying to correct our wrongs, not destroying the whole country. I know what is popular in Nigeria is the negative one. I am of a different type because I'm enjoying myself, I'm enjoying Nigeria's progress, but people don't see it. Because I see the progress. I know where we are. I know where we are coming from. I know that a governor of a state can't lose election in Nigeria. It's not possible.
But now a governor can lose.
Yes. A sitting senator who has been there for all his life, all his or her life. He lost. A governor of Edo State, the entire state, he lost it. And he was there. What you think he didn't want to win? My Delta state that I come from is 24 years. They lost it. So you cannot celebrate good things. All you are doing is, this election is the worst because we're expecting certain outcome and that one didn't come out. The ones we gain, can't we put them in a bag and move forward?
I want to ask this question on ethnicity right now. We asked it during the presidential election, how is it going to play out now? There's a card being played, especially in the Lagos metropolis or in the Lagos state here, a card of ethnicity. How does that impact? You know, because we have so many other, in almost every other state, you have different ethnic groups in almost every other state. The same Igbo, Yoruba are present in the whole states of the federation, except some minute. I'm not sure if there is no Yoruba, Igbo in every state in the country. So how do we play that ethnic card?
Well,
do you play the ethnic card?
Well, we all play ethnic That's
card.
how we live in Nigeria. That's how we assess opportunities. Nigerians share offices by ethnic group. Go to the ministries, they say quota. To university, you say catchment area. So why are you now deceiving yourself that you're not playing ethnic card? You share appointments. Is it not by where you come from? Two must come from house. So we are all they actually wallow in ethnic card. It must be condemned. Every state of the federation, every Nigerian citizen should be called the first office of that state and even of this country. But between you and I, will a foreigner be president in Nigeria?
But from the beginning,
no, hold on. No,
it wasn't so.
No, well, it has always so. Nigeria, we are even making progress. If otherwise, in the past, you can't get the ticket if you are not from a certain area. So we are making progress. But don't forget that if a person of non-indigenous, indigenous must use all the tools to bring him down. You cannot start. It's their privilege. It's their place. They feel it's their place. Them give a superior argument. What is politics? It's argument.
So the ability does not come to play.
It does matter, but there are tools now. In a campaign, you voted that because of NSAS. You have to respect their own sentiment. They killed people. You get what I'm saying. People have their it was a battle between God and devil. And at some past, the key to hell is here. And to me that they have seen me as a devil. Someone just wrote me this one that I hate this country. Because I didn't think the way he was thinking. So that are used in fighting electoral battle are deployed at election. I keep laughing, and if you waste your time on it, then your message will not be so. Your message, what makes you shine is consistency. Somebody say you are not in election. When you went to take the ballot, you should have calculated that would come. Prepare your responses. That okay? Indeed, I'm not from here, but I have a superior program. I will deliver the state. Argue, Marwa, but we still record that it's one of the best performing military guns. So you must be there. Sometimes the whole argument becomes so pedestrian that we forget the issues. That's what.
So, but how do we break this barrier of ethnicity?
They tell it like that. God said we must be divided, not to be able to fight against.
So when now
we should tolerate each other.
Now feel
enjoy one another.
Feel
yeah.
Of ethnicity amongst other problems that we carry as a politics, into governance, into our way of life, and doing something the same way over Nigeria, and we expect something new, we expect something different, and you keep talking, developing, but in retrospect, most of those problems still go with us, and we still get the same result. So, what I'm
trying to solve what you can solve. You are approaching ethnicity in the wrong. Is this here? That's what I'm saying. That if you look at your life totally, the regulation of the media, we said Nigeria was more with the regulation when NTA was alone, keeping us together, projecting private practitioners. And part of the license they gave them to hold it in, and then let us understand our diversity, and then can't change the Yoruba way of thinking from the Igbo man. He can only enjoy being together. But what has happened? The advent of private media is unity. Promoted religious intolerance. So what has the media? Our culture has been eroded. Meanwhile, if you promote culture, you appreciate other people that they have. You have a man who is Igbo or Hausa because he's Igbo, who decide. That's why I said the citizens need development. Unless you defend sentiment, what has happened in the years that the quality of the Nigerian citizens have declined is developing infrastructurally. But the people did not develop. Their mental capacity were destroyed and damaged, either because of poverty or quest for what they do not deserve. A lot of people try to live above their means or above their expected thoughts. People are not, and that damages your quality. And that's what's happening to our nation. Has the Nigerian man improved? But beautiful houses have been built around him. Are you not seeing what happened in Berger, where they build a nice place, put barbed wire? What happened? They bring it down. Have you not seen the pedestrian bridges? They don't use it. They use it as toilet. Did you not see a bus driver who was told that a train heading? He said he would take. He forgot the length of his bus. That's a human being. He caused the accident, killed people, destroyed the train.
So the challenge is in developing the people, and not developing
the infrastructure. Because the people will build the infrastructure. If you don't, they will destroy it. So build it. Look at all the greens. Imagine, when you see a green field, what do? They pass it and then you see a black line across it. The beauty is gone. Look, the elections have shown that power is in the hands of the people. Those who are winning now have to work. Otherwise, the same people will throw them out. That's why in the US I like the word midterm election. I wish the National Assembly does midterm. so that every 2 years they do their election. And then the main election hold once. We must rejig, but our citizens need a lot of work. That's why the president the new president, once it has been fully concluded, though it's concluded, but there are cases. Once they have settled all that, it has to focus on the people. On the people. Without it, you will build the best skyscraper. Nigeria will not be an attractive destination because people don't come here. Nigerians is not a destination that people love to go to, because not that we are not fine people, but because there is a general fear of the Nigerian man. Because the Nigerian man, when he comes together, is a threat, is a fearful person. But individually, Nigerians are brilliant. They go out, they excel. That's why in our football team, individually they are stars, but when they play, they lose.
Theo, we have a report from
Yes.
We report from Odo Abeokuta of ballot snatching. We're told that political thugs disrupted electoral process at Odo. That is what 13 polling unit 22. That's what happened at Odo Abeokuta South area of the state, and there was actually one NSCDC officer who attempted rescuing the 2 ballot boxes, but he was overpowered by the thugs who snatched the boxes and destroyed it immediately. It was snatched. I think this is the first report we are getting of ballot snatching
in Abeokuta.
Yeah, Odo Abeokuta.
You know, the contest in Abeokuta is an interesting one. You know that 2 parties are contending against themselves.
Two parties?
Yeah, sorry, same parties.
Same parties.
Yes. Ibikule Amosu is an APC man, but he's promoting a candidate of ADC. And the current governor is the APC governor. He wants to upstage him, because you remember the battle in the time past. He did the same thing. And
this issue of godfatherism.
Yes, the Ogun State has always been a war of family, and they fight. In fact, a friend of mine covered a primary election that he told me in confidence that he will never go back to that state. A state that appeared to be very quiet seemed to record electoral violence and violence against themselves. It's very unfortunate and must be condemned. Especially, you know, these things get worse when contests are between same party people, because it's no longer a friendly contestation, becomes very bitter, and it is not. It's very condemnable, and they need to change from this course.
Is there any way? I know INEC is just the umpire who just we are organizing this thing. You guys, you have your parties do this thing. Is there any way that INEC can actually stop, you know, especially the infraction of 2-party system, a party, just one party, having 2 candidates? Now, one of the candidates is from another party, but is being supported from his party, while the other candidate is from the same party, is also supported by his own party. This other party is supporting another person's party. Is there any way this can be stopped, especially with the issue of also, you know, cross carpeting and all that? Yeah. I know it is normal in politics, but it seems we are bored in this part of the world.
Well, you know, it's about seeking power, gladiators trying to undo one another. INEC is a electoral umpire, not a security umpire. It's only to bring his machine, conduct election, and give you results.
You're supposed to provide security too.
No, INEC
it's part of the budget.
No, it's not the part of. No, it's not INEC's job to provide security for the election. It is the job of the government in wherever INEC just comes without security to come and conduct election for you. If you bust the ballot box, it will tell you there was no result. That man who took that ballot box wants to make sure election results are not if INEC official that is going to return that election is compromised, he needs to look at the number of PVCs collected between the winner and the loser, and then declare the election either inconclusive or cancelled or whatever, especially inconclusive, and go back there and conduct with higher security. So the electoral reforms are beautiful. You see, those who did the reform, they made a mistake. They didn't know it would haunt them. You know, many this same law has made them, they couldn't even get their primaries because you in the same election season.
Yes.
So you see that these guys, the reform is gift to Nigerians that the politicians made a mistake of doing. But they were pushed and they were motivated. And because they were doing, they blocked, they created solutions. Nigerians must run with this, must continue to use this law to check their politicians, to make sure that we don't get people in office that we try development.
Now, talking about laws and policies, we have this history. Policies are only exist on paper. Electoral Act, these new electoral rules and laws that have come up, feel that it is working in this particular election, but we've not seen policies through sustaining policies that are enacted. Most times it is just in hearing and not in action. Better policies going forward, or how do we retain that you talk about? How do we retain it, and how do we consolidate on it and ensure it's better and not retrogress?
Thank you for that question. You know, view, not fast food view. If you want to build on it, because anything that the world has been upon building, the first plane that was built, if you see the picture, so it was effort. The first cars are not as beautiful as the black people. That's why the white man has confidence that we cannot arrive. He believed the black. see Nigeria and say, I can't come to Nigeria. It's because once you Google the internet, all the comments of Nigerians will greet you first. So a white woman met me in Ghana. She came to do research. I spent 3 days with her. We were playing. She came to my school. I had a school in Ghana, and then she came to teach. After some time, I told her, I'm going to Lagos. I told her. So she said, oh, okay, have a good time. She left. Just some 30 minutes later, she called me. Did you say you are going to Lagos? She told me that. Are you going to Lagos? I said, yes. Please be careful. Please, very dangerous. I should have gone there to do this research, but I was afraid. And I laughed. I said, I'm Nigerian. You are? I'm so sorry, but that's the truth.
Anyway, thank you so
yes,
thank you so much, Etia Katuba, for your time. That's the much we can take on this particular broadcast. Though it is not the end, we're linking up to our other station, to continue from here. I'm George Nwadozie, and I'm rounding off here.
And yes, I am Anne Benitier. I thank you so much for being a part of this part of the broadcast. We'll bring in more from Abuja and, of course, our Udo station. Thanks for tuning in. And, of course, to our guest, Theo, thank you so much for being on the show.
It's been nice sitting by you. And then I've backed you already.